very low. No sound here. We don't need it. Yeah, the sound's not on.
Ah, sing it dinzi. Sanje dinzi. Sanje dinzi. Suina. Yeah. Yeah. Original. More than Los Angeles. I'm at the other chozo me paying body. No, it's not. Your sound totally off.
Speakers, yeah.
Off.
Never plays here. They never will. That'll just be like notification.
What do you connection here?
Okay, yes. Oh, Banza Sato Samaya, Mano Balaya, Bandra Sato Tenoba, Ditan Dedo Membawa, Soto Kayo Mem, Subo Kayo Membawa, Anorato Membawa, Sarwa Sete Me Prayasa, Sarwa Karma Susa Me, Zetan Shriakur, Ha Ha Ha, Bhagawana, Sarwa Tata Gata, Barzama Me, Muzabar Zembawa. Sato a Madra Sato Samaya, Mano Balaya, Madra Sato Tenoba, Tisha Tedo Mebawa, Soto Kayo Mebawa, Subo Kayo. Anorado Mebawa, Sarwa Sete Me Prayata, Sawa Karma, Suzame, Zetan Shriya Kuru, Sarwa Tata Gata, Badrama Me, Muzabar Zembawa, Ma Samaya Sato. Om Badra Sato Samaya, Mano Balaya, Badra Sato Tenoba, Teta Teto Mebawa, Soto Kayo Mebawa, Subo Kayo. Anorato Mebawa, Sarwa Sete Me Prayata, Sawa Karma Sutta Me, Zeta Shriya Kuru, Sarwa Tata Gatra Badra Mame, Barjembawa Ma Samaya, Sato Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Now, first, please take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale all our tension. Once more, please inhale fully and exhale. Once more, please inhale fully and exhale. And then reflect our motivation. So first, meditate in the mind that may all Mother Sentient beings have happiness and causes of happiness. May they free from suffering and causes of suffering. May they swiftly attain enlightenment swiftly. Reflect again. May all Mother Sentient beings have happiness and causes of happiness. May they free from all the suffering. May they attain Buddhahood swiftly, the enlightenment. Once more, please reflect this. May all Mother Sentient beings have happiness and causes of happiness. May they free from all the suffering and causes of suffering. May they swiftly attain complete enlightenment, the Buddhahood. And just expand your mind as a space. And just relax. It's called spacious, the spacious mind. unconfined mind as vast as the space. So with this mind, we'll now continue from this morning. I have briefly touched about the practice of the four immeasurable and cultivation of the bodhicitta, because you have studied this here and there and received those teachings from many great teachers. We just need to reflect on this. And then next is here, what we have is now, what it said was, it said, just like sesame oil in sesame seeds, the essence of Sukatahood is the virtue element which pervades throughout all sentient beings in the six realms. Its mode of abiding free of reduction or augmentation. So now, sometimes, like in jewel ornament liberation, this Sukatahood, the nature of the just called the nature of the both the enlightened seed, it's called Buddha nature, is in the sentient being's mind, is endowed from the beginningless time, is within us. So it's some texts like jewel ornament of liberation start right from the beginning as a seed. This is here, start from here. Now, as earlier I mentioned, now, out of curiosity, you can ask the question that why all sentient beings desire for peace and happiness? Why all they don't like, they want to free from the suffering? What is the fundamental cause of that? No? Then it's because the Buddha nature. The Buddha nature, or the basic goodness, the complete reality nature as it is the virtue, as called. It's the element, the essential element is within in the sentient beings. It's the effulgence as it is. So that very nature itself is total peace and joy. Because of that very nature, uncontrived as it is endowed within all sentient beings. That's the reason that everyone doesn't want any suffering physically and mentally. They yearn to achieve peace and happiness. Even Bodhisattvas who are the 10th Bhumi, they have all what they need, peace and happiness, but still it's not fully revealed. So these enlightened beings, the Bodhisattvas, they strive to attain Buddhahood, because Buddhahood is the perfection, revealing of the Buddha nature. This is what is called. So that Buddha nature, which is now innate nature of every sentient beings, that itself has all the excellent qualities, and it is totally pure, it's perfect. That's what it's called. There's nothing to reduction, nothing to reduce of the Buddha nature itself, anything to reduce. There's nothing to aid, so there's no need of argumentation is total perfection. Even though we all have this, but our temporary, the obscurations called adventitious defilement is surrounded with this enlightened nature. So our work is to purify these adventitious obstacles. These adventitious obstacles that what we have, it seems like they are powerful. Like so when you have anger, aggression, so it dominates whole your ability, your mind, and like you have no other choice, but to act on this. Sometimes when there's such strong desire, attachment, it overpowers you, it dominates you, something like you have no other choice. But in reality, they are nothing but is illusion. They are just only create the cause of suffering. But when you have enough wisdom to see that these afflictions is like a waves of the ocean. When there comes a strong storm, tornado, when you see those, it's so powerful, it's very destructive. But after some time, they disappear to nowhere. So likewise, these mental afflictions, what we have, if there's enough wisdom to see that they abide nowhere, there's just their nature itself is illusory nature. The nature itself is nothing but emptiness. That's what's called emptiness, you see. So therefore, as a Dharma practitioner, we have to develop such a great courage. Courage based on wisdom and compassion. When you have that kind of strength of the mind, then definitely, without doubt, these mental afflictions can be purified, uproot totally, in that there's no doubt. You can see that. Even you have some small amount of wisdom, if you look at them, they are like a cloud. They appear and disappear. They are like a wave of the ocean. They appear and dissolve into the ocean. So therefore, we have the Buddha nature, the enlightened seed, and we have every reason that we can see it through this practice of the Dharma. So what we need is our devotion, interest, aspiration towards the Buddha's teaching. And then, according to Buddha's instruction, if we follow step by step, one day we will become Buddha because we have the seed of the Buddha nature. Just for example, there's a butter in the milk, you see. We have to know there's a butter in the milk. We have to know how to produce the butter from the milk. When we have all these conditions, then we have to make effort. We need perseverance, choice, effort to work on this. And then you can produce butter from the milk. Even though right now we have the Buddha nature, which is same as the Buddha, but we cannot call I'm a Buddha, because I have not revealed that yet. So this is very important to see that. Sometimes people say, I'm a Buddha because I have Buddha nature. For such, like say, you can say the milk is the butter because there's a butter in the milk. No, you cannot use the milk as the butter. Milk as you use as a milk, not as a butter. No. But no, without the milk, there's no butter. You can say without the milk, you cannot produce a butter. So you see, so when you become Buddha, Buddha is not the milk, no. So butter is not the milk, you see. Even though the butter is come from the milk, without the milk, there's no butter. So, but when the butter is produced, you cannot call the butter as a milk. Then you see the butter as a butter you use. So when you become Buddha, so Buddha is Buddha, not confused person like us. No. So therefore, we have every reason to study, practice the Dharma. This is a very important point. It's not being a kind, nice, jolly, just easygoing, but it is something that based on the reason we work rigorously to overcome all these mental afflictions. It is not so easy, the mental afflictions, to get rid of them. Sometimes it's painful. It's not painful because the Dharma teaching, but it's painful of these mental afflictions. Sometimes very painful to renounce what you're attached to. So its attachment is difficult to renounce. That gives the pain. Not the Dharma gives you the pain. Some people say, oh, Dharma practice is very difficult. Oh, it is very hard. It's not the Dharma practice is hard and difficult. It's our mental affliction gives you the hard and difficult, you see. So we have to have such a mindfulness, awareness to see these things, which gives you difficult, which gives you relief to free from the suffering. Dharma is the Buddha's wisdom, gives us all the peace and happiness. It is the mental affliction, the mental delusion gives us all the pain and difficult, see. So we should, from today, we should have such kind of a critical insight to understand the demarcation which gives you the suffering and which gives us the peace and happiness. So don't feel Dharma practice is difficult, I cannot practice, it gives you difficult because of our attachment to this life, to this body that what we have, we feed this body. So we work hard so much, we're working so hard, for what? For this body, to feed this body, I mentioned a few times before, and just in case there's some new people or reminding, so our whole life and this life work so hard to make this body a little comfortable, to have some comfort, a comfortable place to live, and delicious food to eat, a nice cup of coffee to drink, and some special clothes to wear, and some special car to drive is for this body. This precious human body is so precious, it gives you a very difficult time to work to please this body. You just think about it carefully, That's when you're getting older, then they are called retirement, the insurance. We have to worry so much about those. I mentioned many times about this, you see. it makes sense, how expensive sometimes the retirement, how expensive the insurance are. To get full insurance is very expensive, very difficult to get, and people are very depressed. They're suffering so much. So we just have to laugh about our suffering. So that's why in the Gongchik it's mentioned, which wanders in the samsara, the mind or the body. So the body, the five skandha, it wanders in the samsara. Mind itself, it doesn't age. Mind itself doesn't get sick. It will not die. The body age. The body gets sick and finally die. In the Uttara Tantra, in the text mentioned, giving the example of the space. There are different fires, the ordinary fire and the fire that burns the whole forest, and the fires which consumes this whole earth. All those different fires, they consume the earth, or they consume the big forest, or just ordinary fire. But that fire, these different fire, cannot burn the space. Even when the whole planet is consumed by this fire, it doesn't burn the space. Likewise, he said, we age, we get sick, then finally die. But like the space nature, like the space nature, the mind does not affect. So feel that, we should understand that, build confidence. Okay, this body get aged. When it's decaying, the elements, aging. When the elements are disorder, it's getting sick. And finally, it dies. But the mind itself, the Buddha nature, never age, never gets sick, never dies. So because of this cultivation of the bodhicitta, is the method to purify all this our obscurations and to see that. So when physically, just look at it, even our deluded mind, physically we're aging, but mind keeps very active. Even dementia, forgetting, but afflictions are so active. When you get sick physically, but body is so active. It's so fresh, running here and there, like and dislike, all these things, And then finally when die, the mind goes and takes another life. Rebirth is continuation of the consciousness. It's not just one permanent something, but it continues according to the causes and conditions. Like river running. The river running from the mountain to the ocean depends on the landscape. Landscape, when the land is say flat, the water runs more gentle. When the land is more kind of steep, the water runs faster. But same water, but depend to the landscape, the water flows similar to this mind flows one after another under the condition and also causes and conditions, you see. So just look at this. We should inspire to reveal our Buddha nature, and we respect all other sentient beings who has Buddha nature. We should inspire ourselves, build courage. Sometimes when we don't have enough wisdom, then sometimes we say, how I can become Buddha? Looks like Buddha is so far, and Buddha is like a space, and I am like a nothing. How I can become Buddha? Sometimes we're discouraged, look down to ourselves. So at this time, look at the Buddha nature, that what we have, everybody has. The reason I mentioned how we know, because I want peace and happiness. That's the reflection, expression of the Buddha nature. Look at these and encourage, start studying, practicing Dharma teachings, you see. That's what is why it is very important to reflect on the Buddha nature. And as he said, for this reason, one's own mind is in fact Buddha's. One's own mind, the mind as it is, called the butter in the milk, as the butter as it is the butter, but it's within in the milk. But we have to inspire to produce the butter from the milk. Likewise, although yet obscured by the adventitious defilement, the Buddha taught every hip of the Dharma he did in order to dispel these defilement, you see. Now that in the GONGCHIK Vajra statement, the turning of the three wheel of the Dharma is about this, step by step. The giant big tree, the seed is very small. We plant the seed under the ground and we need to let it grow from the ground. First, very fragile, small, few leaves sprout, it's very delicate. Once it's well grown, big tree, then no one can kind of hurt that tree. It's so strong. So that seed has every potential to grow the big giant tree. If there is something missing, the tree cannot grow. So it's maximized the potential nature of that seed and becomes such a big tree. Likewise, our Buddha nature, we have that kind of potential. But at the beginning, we need care about. That's why I say reflect on the impermanence of all phenomena. Reflect on the suffering of the sentient beings, and reflect on the causality, the karma, and the karma cause of and its result. We need to reflect on this. And from there, then develop. Now, also first take refuge in the Buddha Dharma Sangha, and develop the loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. Let grow this in our heart. This is everybody's interest. We should make effort with this. Then when it grows big tree, then that tree becomes a shelter for so many people. Like when one becomes Buddha, then everyone can take refuge in Buddha and receive the teachings. See, so right from the beginning to the end, as I mentioned, our focus is two things: to purify all our obscurations without exception, no? And develop all the excellent qualities, loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta, so forth. So now there are many methods free of difficulties on the path of ripening and liberation. And so those who desire to attain Buddhahood swiftly should follow the path of mantra. So it's called Vajrayana Tantra. First, we have to start all this earlier mentioned. There are prerequisites. Need to train the mind, need to build the strength of the mind, you know, through those four turnings of the mind, practice of the refuge, practice of the bodhicitta. This all are so important as a beginning, as a foundation. Once you build those foundations, then to cultivate, to make the mind more accessible, to see itself, the nature is the Vajrayana meditations are so important. There is mentioned the two things, you know. You see, it's called ripening and liberation. Ripening, this means empowerment. When you receive the empowerment, which I'm sure many of you have, so many people, without knowing anything, they receive empowerment. Without understanding, oh, have you received empowerment? Oh, the White Tara empowerment, Cherasi empowerment, and Manjushri empowerment, this and that, Vajrasattva empowerment. Everybody goes for the empowerment, but don't have much understanding what about that, you know. They say, you get blessings, you are blessed, you are so good, you know. Those are good, you know, but one doesn't get what about that, you know? Ripening. So through this empowerment, there are sometimes three empowerment: body, speech, mind empowerment. Or sometimes there's four empowerment. You see, the vase empowerment, the secret empowerment, the wisdom empowerment, the fourth empowerment. So through these steps of the empowerment, whether it's body, speech, mind, all these four empowerment, give you opportunity to manifest yourself, the Buddha, like Tara or Chenresi, you know. So as I mentioned, you have the Buddha nature. So that Buddha nature now is the foundation. That with that foundation, so these practice of bodhicitta and the Vajrayanas, Tantra's empowerment ceremony gives us the opportunity to reveal ourselves as the enlightened being. So first, physically, we purify this ordinary body, transform into the enlightened body, you know. Then with that, the secret empowerment, the voice or the speech empowerment, transform our ordinary speech to the enlightened speech. Then the mind, ordinary mind to the enlightened mind. So the Vajra master who performs this empowerment gives you all the teachings step by step during the empowerment. So all the participants of this ceremony, they get all this opportunity. So that's what's called the ripening and liberation. You know. Then we have chance to liberation, free from samsara, free from delusions. You see, that's what's called that. You know? with the undistracted recollection of the divine form, the embodiment of the bodhicitta, the clear, pure, and stable generation stage meets the thoroughly established nature face to face. So now this is Vajrayana practice. After you receive the empowerment, step by step, then after that, you are eligible to practice the deity of that individual. So that in that, they are so-called, you see, with the undistracted reflection of the divine form, that enlightened body like the Chenresik or Tara or any deity that you have received the empowerment, that's the enlightened body, divine deity form, which is the nature of the bodhicitta. So the embodiment of bodhicitta. Now that you visualize clearly, there are three qualities: clarity, purity, and stabilization, stable. So clear means the body is inseparable of the appearance and emptiness, not just ordinary. What that helps to purify our attachment and aversion, ignorance. When you have the clear understanding of your body, the yidam, the deity, like Chiresik, Tara, any practice you do, all your mental delusions has to be get rid of. See your body as inseparable of the emptiness and the appearance. You see the appearance as the deity, like Tara, or say Chenresik, or Vajrasattva, you see that. It's like a rainbow, Then next, purity, all the symbol of this. So Vajrayana, in one way, is called, it looks like that not everybody can practice, but it is expression of excellent qualities of the Dharmakaya. So that deity body is a Sambhoga Kaya. When you look at the, five-pointed crown on the head, it's the expression of the five wisdom. It's not just the five-pointed crown. The deity is the embodiment of the five wisdom. And the two earrings, you see, is the two truth, the relative truth and absolute truth. And then three necklaces, and then close to the neck, and then next is very close to your breast, and the third close to your navel. These three necklaces symbolizes the three body of the Buddha: Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, Nirmanakaya. And deity is sitting on the lotus, sometimes only moon, sometimes sun and the moon. So the moon, this lotus symbolizes the purity, the pure nature of the mind. Like the lotus bone grow from the water, mud, but the lotus is so blossomed purely above the water, untouched by the mud, If you visualize the sun, it's the clarity of the mind. And the moon, the compassion nature of the moon. Or if you visualize only lotus and moon, then lotus is the wisdom and the moon is the compassion. So like this, all these ornaments and wearing all these silken robes has a significance. So that deity is all these ornaments are expression of the enlightened nature from the Dharmakaya. So you should, that's what is called purity, no? Clarity, purity, so clear, pure, and stable. Then you have to stabilize yourself. Means confidence. Oh, so I am this deity nature. I am the nature of this enlightened being, free from arrogance, but at the same time, full confidence, courage. That's what's called stable generation stage. Meet the thoroughly established nature face to face. So that will help us to see yourself is nothing but enlightened nature state. You know? That everybody has that kind of qualities, but we have to practice this way. You know? Then next is with the completion stage of the profound, subtle bindu and sunlessness, purity all remaining obscurations, none left out, into the blissful sky of Dharma spheres. That is called, Kirim and Sohrim, the generation stage and the completion stage. See, that's the two stages. The generation stage, you generate that enlightened state. As I mentioned, all visualizations that's clear, pure, stable. Within that, you chant mantra, do all the purifications, or there's the practice of channels, chakras, all those practices you can do. It's called generation stage practice. You get all the opportunity to purify all the propensity of the habitual tendencies of samsara. You just be accustomed in that state, meditation. So after practicing this, then you dissolve into emptiness. That's called signlessness, or sometimes called non-referential completion stage, non-objectified state of enlightenment. And through these method practices, we get such a great opportunity to purify all obscurations. As I mentioned, purify all remaining obscurations, none left out. In this generation stage, you get all those opportunity to purify every obscurations. Then when that is dissolved into emptiness, mind stay as it is. Then in that, then there's no any, let's say, ignorance, attachment, aversion has a space to remain purified. See, that's then when you have that kind of state, meditation practice, it's called into the blissful sky of Dharma spheres. Dharma sphere means it's nothing but emptiness. Here, Dharma is emptiness. Chugu, Dharmakaya, Chugyuko, no? So that's how you practice. That's why the three-wheel turning, the turning of the three-wheel of Dharma is this what about all the step by step you see go through. For the beginner who has no idea of, you just give the empowerment, have no idea what you're receiving, and when the teacher talks something, you have no idea what this Lama is talking about. He said something, but I have no idea. It's something like culture, it's a culture barrier. And then it's, it's just, another delusion. Dharma becomes the delusion for our samsara. Dharma, instead of becoming a special method to purify our obscurations, but instead it becomes another confusion. We're confused, So that's the Vajrayana practice, just briefly. Then next, again, so this each, of course, each has the complete method to purify, like in the bodhicitta, aspiration bodhicitta, the action bodhicitta, in the ultimate bodhicitta. Through this has the complete method to purify all obscurations. But still, the inveterate propensity of that habit is very stubborn. As mentioned, it's like your rubber band, you pull your rubber and release, it's go back to the way it is, and sometimes you feel, I don't know if the Dhamma practice helped me or not, or Dhamma practice is not working enough. No, there's some say, they talk, Dhamma is so profound, so effective, this Vajrayana is so, actually I heard some years ago, there was a monk, a Western monk, he said, the view Mathamika supposed to be so powerful. And then Vajrayana, on above that, is so powerful, without any difficulties, when one should realize and free from all the obscurations. But that monk said, during these 10, 15 years, I barely could keep my monk vows. What went wrong? What happened, So I realized this, you see. We are thinking Dhamma will do something to us. Dhamma will jump into our head and take away all our problems. Instead, we utilize the Dhamma and purify ourselves. Instead, the Dhamma as a tool we should use to break through all our habits. So we individually have to make our own effort using the Dhamma as a tool. So anyway, like this, we have a lot of work to do, So as mentioned, this all gives us complete method to purify. Still, as mentioned, our habit is so difficult to break through. So next is saying, right here, to bring all migrators into the path of the supreme vehicle, vivid embodiment of the enlightened activities of all the Buddhas of the 3 times arise in the form of the root and the lineage lamas. Now here comes the Guru Yoga, you see, Guru Yoga. So this Guru lamas, is very important, but at the same time, there is a responsibility, the Guru's responsibility, the teachers, the students' responsibilities. In the Jewel Ornament of Liberation, there's a chapter about the spiritual masters. You read about those, and in many other texts also described. So the teacher also need all the responsibilities, qualities are very important. And then the students' responsibilities is very important. So here, next here mentioned here, follow a Lama who embodies scripture and realizations. So first, these two qualities. Scripture means study, well equipped in the understanding of all the Buddha's teaching in the Sutra, in the Tantra, well equipped of the knowledge of these teachings. Once one have all this good understanding, from different sutras and commentaries, the next is realization, practice. So they are understanding wisdom and realization wisdom, see, has completely uprooted entanglement in self-benefit. The teacher, since it's the Mayana, especially Vajrayana, no interest for himself or herself. The entanglement of the self-interest is totally discarded, purified. See, otherwise will be confusing. Got such a high title, such a great title, and then there's no really good qualities to express, to teach. Then people are confused. So what happened? So that's why Sisi has completely uprooted entanglement in self-benefit, self-interest, dispels others' suffering with compassion, so that one has the wisdom of all those study and practice. Then compassion rolls on the benefiting sentient beings. So compassion rolls to benefit other sentient beings, not one's own benefit, but benefiting of others, and leads them on the path with the great wisdom. Then sentient beings lead into the path with wisdom, step by step. So we need such kind of great teacher. So then with that, we do the Guru Yoga. Just like receiving the four empowerments as we read from, So these are the now here comes our work here, attachment, aversion, and ignorance, and the so first of all, attachment, aversion, and ignorance, they are the non-virtue. We should see that. And the non-virtue born from this means then physically, verbally, we act based on attachment, based on aversion, based on ignorance. That becomes the non-virtue. And that is the direct cause of our suffering. So give rise to the suffering of samsara in general in the samsaras, in the 6 realms of the samsara. All the suffering is there. It's the manifestation of these 3 portions. And that of the 3 lower realms, we call 3 lower realms, hell realm, hungry spirits and animals, and then all different types of suffering, war, fighting, battles, all this is a manifestation of these 3 portions. Realms in the particular. So these are our recognized them, and these are our direct now focus to purify through the Dharma practice. As I mentioned, to purify them is to only the Dharma that Buddha taught, gives us the wisdom and guidance how to work. No matter how these modern technologies are powerful, they will not give us how to purify our mental afflictions. Instead, they will give us to rise this attachment. They advertise, you see, look at the advertisement. Oh, this advertisement, such a beautiful product of car. This car is modernized car, an electric car. They'll say, oh, this, you should have it, then you will enjoy. Look at this smartphone, updated, number this, the 5, 6, 7, 8 number, the count now, updated, So just give you all this, how to crave all this, So I'm not saying they are so bad, I'm just saying how it does in the world, So Dharma is the one only helps us to reduce the total cause of suffering. That's the point. So, look at this. Causes and conditions bring these up, but they are permitted nowhere in the vows of the individual liberation, bodhicitta, or secret mantra. And so every prohibition is always prohibited. So the title of this short article is mentioned, as I mentioned, the permission and prohibition. So they're saying all the causes from these 3 poisons, in all the state of the Buddha teaching, right from the beginning, from 4 noble truths to the last turning of the Dharma wheel. All Buddha's teaching are designed to purify all these obscurations. There's no any teachings that permits the negative thoughts or action. All a method to purify. So you see how precious it is. We should look at this. Reason because sometimes the teachers say, some teacher, not everybody, Vinaya is Hirayana, but in Mahayana, the Vinaya are not allowed this. But Mahayana, special Vajrayana are allowed. So contradicts the Buddha's teaching. So here is making no contradiction. All these 3 poisons and Vinaya and Mahayana, bodhicitta practice and Vajrayana practice, this all are nothing but to purify. There's no any allowances, So it's as mentioned, it's permit, it's called prescription, prescribed, but they are prescribed nowhere in the vows of the individual liberation in Vinaya, Sosotarpa 1, and Bodhicitta, Changchu Sem, or in secret mantra, Sangha. And so every prohibition, every proscribed is always proscribed, prohibited. It's not Buddha made something this. as mentioned, Buddha saw this directly, and then with such great compassion, so you don't want suffering, so don't do this for your good reason. No. It will not help you. No. You have been in the samsara for a long time, repeating this habit, life after life, life after life, and you have not achieved anything, any benefit. Now, from now, you should wake up. So I have been deluded for a long time. So now, today is the time that now I understood, and now I purify all the cause of suffering, and I adopt all the cause of the peace and happiness. See? So this is one of the very important points we all should understand, you know. Now, regarding to this, if I make some clarification, okay. Like say, like alcohol, no? In Vinaya is prohibited. Buddha said, don't drink. You know, it's good, no, it's not good for you. There's a story background this, you know. First Buddha didn't say this, no. Buddha didn't say, don't drink alcohol. Just Buddha said, practice Dharma, what I teach. Then after some years, a monk who's well established, who achieved Arhat and has a great ability, you know, to benefit others. So, you know, the monks, they go lunch for outside, you know. So one day he went to a house. They offered a rice, alcohol made from the rice. It was so delicious. So they offered him a bowl. So he drank that, because there's no, that time, at that moment, there was no any, said don't drink alcohol. So he drank and got lunch, and then he went round, moved. And on the way, he drank. He was so drunk, and he fell down on the roadside, you know. And then his robes were scattered here and there, you know. His bowl was just throwing next to there. And somebody informed to Buddha, so such monk is out there now. It's doing not so well, you know. So Buddha got all the information. So at that moment, the monks around there with the Buddha said, let's go all. So went there. So then Buddha pointed to this monk. You know him, no, he's well established. He could benefit many people. Now today you see, forget it to benefit sentient beings. Even he cannot take care of his own life. This is the faults of drinking alcohol. So seeing this nature, from today, I ask all the followers, don't drink the alcohol. No. So that's called prescribed. Okay. Oh, no, it's prescribed not to drink, you know. Okay. Make sense? So it's a look at this, you know. Buddha didn't make this randomly, you know, so making some kind of special discipline, you know, but seeing the reality, nature. So anybody like that monk, anybody who drinks, ardent or non-ardent, you know, anybody, lay people who drinks, then that happens. And then sometimes some individuals or some are fighting, And then the lot of problems manifest from there. So say, don't drink. What that happened. So in Vinayas, Buddha said these things. And Dhamma practitioners, they are individuals, some are holy, some are highly accomplished masters. Then they say in Vajrayana, we're allowed to drink, and then it contradicts the Vinaya and Vajrayana. Now this we should understand. In Vajrayana, those who have, as earlier mentioned, who have very stabilized their practice, the generation stage, the completion stage, and see everything's nothing but enlightened state. No mental afflictions exist there. And these alcohols, then they are no longer alcohol or poison. They are ambrosia. Those individuals who have that kind of ability, who drinks that and no effect. No. So those say it's allowed. It's not allowed. No. Say this is how should I put this word? I should say this way now. I should say it is not allowed that that person can drink, even say he can become drunk. Okay. Even that can become drunk. So Buddha said, so you can drink because it's Vajrayana. Buddha didn't say that. You can drink because you transform into ambrosia. It's no longer alcohol. It's ambrosia. It's undefiled ambrosia. That ambrosia is also not restricted in Vinaya. In Vinaya also, Buddha didn't say, don't drink ambrosia, And you can drink ambrosia in Vinaya and in Bodhisattva Mahayana, in Vajrayana, So you have to witness by yourself. You have to judge yourself if one has the ability or not. Don't say, Buddha said this, while Vajrayana allowed to drink something, just drink it, then you're drunk, Then you can't say, Buddha said it's okay, drink, and you are drunk. Then you are blaming to Buddha, So that's not so wise, Buddha gave us permission to drink, and I'm drunk now. It's not so kind to Buddha, If we can transform into nectar, ambrosia, then you should say, yeah, Buddha said it's allowed to drink in Vajrayana. So now I drink and I am not drunk. I drink a big jar of the alcohol. I'm still fine, no problem. So these things, these are just examples. Anyhow, in all the vows, non-virtue is non-virtue. Literally, not permitted or not prescribed, I should say. All the virtuous activities are permitted, also prescribed to practice Dharma teachings. And this is what Jigdu Sungun now explained so precisely, directly, without confusion. See, it's very important. Practitioners, we should not have any confusions. Sometimes they're confused and then they quarrel each other, They say, And he said, is it allowed to drink? He said, no, allowed to drink. Then what is there? There's a lot of confusions there. No. The next okay. Non-attachment. Now next he says non-attachment, non-aversion, and non-ignorance or non-obscurations, and the virtue. So these three, non-attachment, non-aversion, non-ignorance, these are the virtue first. In the mind, these portions are not exist. No, they are cease to exist. And the virtue means all the then activities performed from within that. Virtues born from these give rise to all the happiness there is in samsara and the nirvana. In the samsara, what we have, there's peace, happiness. You can see there is peace and happiness there. Anybody who enjoys is product of these non-afflictions. So when you gaze the sky and see the space, so spacious, calm, peaceful. Looking at that, your mind is so peaceful. Look at that peaceful mind. It's absence of these mental afflictions. The space is beautiful, but you cannot enjoy when the mind is totally occupied by these mental afflictions, you see. That's why we make effort in the mind. Basically, you see, to make a better human being. So Namaste practice is to make a better human being, a decent human being, more civilized people, which brings more peace in the individual's life, more peace in the society, then whole in the country in large. So these are very important points that put. So the Gongchik practice, that's how it is now, to try to explain these things. So therefore, every permission prescribed in the entirely non-contradictory vows of individual liberation, Vinaya, Bodhicitta, and secret mantra is always permitted, prescribed. No. All our good qualities to give rise, manifest, progress step by step. Buddha said, go ahead, practice. You don't satisfy your one session meditation. You have to practice until you achieve enlightenment. Don't get satisfaction just by in the retreat of 3 years. Sometimes people overwhelmed. Oh, 3-year retreat, I can't do that. 3 years, nothing. 3 years is like going to college. You go to college 3 years, but that you are not perfected. See, 3-year retreat is just to finish your course, what is in the practice of 3-year retreat. Then you have to get used to it for the rest of the life. So then we have to progress step by step for the enlightenment. So all there's any peace, happiness in the world there, it's because of the absence of these mental afflictions. So we should look at this. We should inspire, make effort to purify these mental afflictions. All the various appearances that there are merely a manifestation of the mind's play. The mind itself, birthless, chuck, wisdom of emptiness. samsara, nirvana, one taste, yeah, seal of emptiness. So here's now describing everything as within in the emptiness, both samsara and nirvana. But before that is all mind's display. That's what we have to understand, how the mind is vast. Sometimes when we talk so much about the mind, people think it's only mind school. I think that is not complete understanding. No. Who realizes the mathemika? Prasangika mathemika. Who realizes that? It's the mind that which realizes the prasangika mathemika. Who realizes the Dzogchen Mahamudra? It's the mind that realizes, you see. When you talk about that, you can't say this is a mind-only school. No. So the mind is the whole, at the end of mind is in your whole life. It's the whole life is play of the mind, we should say. You know, all the suffering we're experiencing, all the delusions that we're experiencing is the confusion of the mind. All the beautiful things manifesting in the life, peace, happiness, all this is the display of the mind. So we have to understand how to take care of the mind. You know? Otherwise, you know, we may think, what mind affects the climate change? Climate is outside, you know, the environment. But because the mind is making all this decision, or wrong or right, you know, based on the delusions, greed, based on the ignorance, and then, you know, destroying our whole planet out of greed. And there's so much floods, storms, tornadoes, all these things you see. So the Mother Earth is not so happy. So we have to make the Mother Earth a little more happier by practicing loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, you know. So the Mother Earth, you know, say, okay, you are doing better. I will behave accordingly, you know. Buddha said in the Bodhisattva, the 10th Bhumi Sutra, it's called Bodhisattva, yes, 10th Bhumi Sutra. All Bodhisattva, Buddha said, everything is the only mind. Regarding to this, I usually say this, you know, that people may ask you, is the book in your hand is your mind? What should I say? This is not mind. This is a book, you know. But now look at this book. Say this yellow color, this top, this button, this two side, good, not good. It's all this description of mind. Exists, non-exist is the description of the mind. Mind described. Then every individual, they have their own description of the mind. One book, everybody will describe a little differently. And then book, you see, is the collection of all the dust particles. According to the quantum physics theory, there you can find the book, what I have in my hand, is just a manifestation of many causes and conditions. It's not just one independent. There I can say, well, okay, I cannot say directly this is the mind, but this the feeling, perception, the perception of this book, it's the reflection of the mind. I reflect on this mind and I describe all these things. So then slowly, slowly, we can understand everything is a reflection of the mind, a reflection of the karma. Like this house, you see, is the builders, the design, architect, and then people together discuss about this. And then the builder discuss with the architecture and then build the house from the stretch, from the nothing, and build this beautiful house. So it's the product of the mind. Many things brought together. All these things is called interdependent. If you ask the roof, ceiling is the house? No, ceiling is ceiling, not house. The floor is the house, it's not house, it's a floor. The wall is house, it's not the wall, it's house, it's wall. The window, then door, all this each and every you go around. It's all just label. So when all these things come together, you say, this is the house. So it's manifestation of the mind. It's directly, Then all the mountains, hills, ocean, is all product of the mind indirectly. So, so that's why there's called the karma, there's a karma, individual karma and international karma or group karma we call. So these are very complex subject. So at the end of the day, you can find mind is the only that, which it shapes the world, good or bad. And the mind itself is also nothing. It's not exist. It not exist at the same time. It exists is the everything. Look at this. So these are the Dharma practices that Buddha taught to us, how to realize these things. That's why you see how Dharma is so precious. That's called the complete all this nature. Everything, everywhere is nothing but everything. That everything is nothing but everything. Everything is everything but nothing. You can say, So that's the power of the mind. That's why we have to understand why we need to cultivate such a great loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta. So that's the GONGCHIK teaching is about, you see. Some people think GONGCHIK is very simple, GONGCHIK is very simple for small mind, but GONGCHIK is for big mind. GONGCHIK has a space. Everything can contain there. Everything can display from there include there, dissolve into that. So everything manifests from emptiness and dissolve into emptiness. Okay. Now, therefore, you see what is said here. Both appearance and minds are subject to infallible causality. Omniscience as well depends on the causes and follow from them, and so Mahamudra and discipline shares this same key point. So this is one of the very important Vaja statement in the Konchik. Mahamudra and morality, discipline, same point, one point. This is only could this kind of explain by Lord Jigten Sungkun. Yes, as I mentioned, everything is nothing. Everything manifests from nothing. From nothing manifests everything. This shows, no, it's not just mere empty. It's not just negating. Sometimes we negate, no, this is not exist because of this, is not exist because of this. We negate. It's not just a negation. It's the manifestation. No? Everything from emptiness, and everything dissolves into emptiness. So non-virtue, the virtue, the practice, cannot ignore within in the emptiness, cannot transcend, no, within in the emptiness. Sometimes we say, oh, this highest view. No, there's no virtue, no non-virtue. No? So it's everything's just play, no? Just of course it is play, but play of the causality. All the causality manifests distinctively without any confusion. So that's what I mean, how to become a better human being who has more decisive wisdom, who knows the demarcation of the right from the wrong. How to relate to the people, how to relate to yourself, how to relate to the causality. These are very important points, see. Okay. So all phenomena are interdependently arisen. Interdependent arising is emptiness. The character and the disposition of the way of the being devoid of removing or adding is luminosity, emptiness itself. This looks not so easy. Okay, what is that? Okay. Chugun tenjin dawachung, tenjin tenjung tongbanyi, sesha pangben duglute, shisan pabde setong ni. Okay. All phenomena are interdependently arisen. No? Just as I mentioned, like the building, everything manifested from the interdependent. Means by meeting many causes and conditions together, something manifests. Just a cup of tea, just no. You need a pot. You need water. You need a stove, fire. Then you need a tea. Oh, this is whatever ingredients you need put together. Make it just a cup of tea. Without stove, you cannot make tea. Without tea, there's no tea. Without water, you cannot make tea. Without your hand, you cannot make tea. No? So see, so that cup of tea is risen interdependently with all the causes and conditions. Complete. If one is missing, the cup of tea is not there. So need every necessary things together. So that shows itself is emptiness. No? See. So there's an interdependent reason is emptiness. That's what it's called. We are not making empty, see, but nature itself is emptiness. So emptiness doesn't mean nothing. Some people say, the word emptiness is not so good. I don't like that word, you know. You like or don't like, you know, but we have to understand the point. See how it functions within in the emptiness. See, all these functions within in the emptiness. So when you are more wise in the emptiness, then you are very wise in the causality. You know, all the causalities are manifested within in the emptiness, bring together. As I mentioned, a cup of tea, how much is interconnected. The causes condition, you know, is distinctively, you know, manifest. Other day I mentioned, you know, let's say like a causes condition. Also, you say, a seed of poison you grow in the farm, in the place part, but that seed need 4 elements, you know, the water, moisture, all this what is needed. Through that, all the, you know, causal conditions, it can grow a poison. Now, medicine, a seed of medicine can also grow in that farm with 4 elements. All this put together and the seed, the medicine will grow. But because the seed itself makes the difference. Likewise, our motivation, the mind. When we have a pure motivation based on the bodhicitta, love and compassion, that becomes this medicine to heal, to benefit all sentient beings. When we have wrong motivation based on delusions, attachment, aversion, then that grows all to manifest the suffering. It's interdependent. The pure motivation is also interdependent. The wrong motivation is interdependent, but depending to the seed, the root cause, how it manifests. One brings all the peace and happiness, other brings all the suffering. So that what Buddha taught carefully, how to now take care of our own mind. Buddha can teach or talk to all those teachings. Now we are the responsible to take care of ourselves. That's why it's very important we practice the teaching Dharma properly. Sometimes in the name of the Dharma, we make a huge mistake. We play our ego, you know, and then it destroys all the community. So see these things very carefully meditate on this. Then next is said here, when emptiness is realized, now say realize, everything is emptiness, but when emptiness is realized, you see, causality stands out distinctly in that emptiness. So do you see, when you realize emptiness, we are not ignoring anything, but everything manifests within that state of them. No? This is very precious. Many practitioners say at the end, everything now say, your mind is ceased to exist. All things have ceased to exist. There's nothing. But here in the Gongchik teaching says, extinction, all existence and dissolve, that's not the end. That's the beginning of the understanding. From emptiness then manifest everything. Because the Buddha realized total nature of the emptiness. So now Buddha has all those great qualities, as mentioned earlier, the 10 strengths, 4 fearlessnesses, 18 unmixed qualities, so forth. This all to manifest from the emptiness, because there's no obscurations that exist to disturb these all excellent qualities to express. So all the excellent qualities are expressing freely without any obstruction. No? So that's what is seen. Causality stands out distinctly in that emptiness. So samsara, nirvana, nature, just as it is, and the causes and reasons as many as there are both clearly known. And through Buddha's wisdom, then can understand all the causality of the samsara, causality of the nirvana. So from that wisdom, then Buddha taught the teachings directly, every individual to free from samsara and attain enlightenment. So this is the beauty of the Buddha's wisdom. I heard, now I'm sure it's not true or not, the quantum physics, the scientists, the great scientists, they understood this now through that analysis, through that method. Now there's no dust particle exists, everything empty. There's nothing we can do anything now there. Let's put that aside because we cannot do anything there, Now in the Buddha's teaching, you see, within it, everything emptiness, then it manifests everything. Now you understood, you see, through the realization, not through the machine, you see. So scientists, I appreciate, really, they are in the right track, but still there's some way to go, So we who are interested in these teachings have a big responsibility to express these qualities. You study, you practice, and you benefit people in the world, everywhere. Making sense? Looks some are still doubtful. I don't know. No, you have to make sense. Okay. Now, next what it said, teaching such as these, such as these, on adopting and abandoning. So now here this, now the kind of like abbreviating, you know. Now we have studied step by step. Now here in this you see short teaching, but complete Buddha's teachings here you can explain. So those which are to adopt all the excellent qualities, virtuous practice, those need to adopt. We just bring ourselves, meditate on this. We should become a natural of these teachings so we can express these qualities to others. And abandoning all the cause of suffering, delusions that need to be purified. No? Pang is a pang to abandon, get rid of. No? Are the central principle of the perfect Buddha's three Dharma wheel, you see now? Three Dharma wheel and the heart of all Sutra and Tantra. That's why today, yesterday and today, I'm going, as I know, I'm going through this because of that. Buddha turned the three wheel of Dharma, the essence is here. What to adopt, what to purify, what to abandon is all now here. Even in the samsara, how to bring peace and happiness. And beyond samsara, nirvana, what kind of practices we should do. See? Just for clarification, I repeatedly mentioned this, you see, the three training, the Shila, Samadhi, and the Paranya. These three trainings are appreciated in all the Buddhist, Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana. No. So the Shila, moral conduct, is to avoid all the non-virtue and accept, bring up, practice all the virtue. When this is done physically, mentally, we have good discipline, making such good preparation. Then next, Samadhi, the mind is calm abide on this good condition. Mind is totally rested, relaxed, calm abiding. When the mind is well relaxed, calm abided, then there's a great chance, opportunity, or it makes the best condition to give rise to critical insight, prajna. See. So you should look at it in the Shantideva text, you see. Shine Rabdon Dembel, Hatongi, Nyumon number Jumbo, Shijanes, you see. Shine Rabdon Dembels, when you have an excellent calm abiding, Shine. Then on that, within that state, then there's a special insight, the prajna. So by this synchronizing this Shine and Hakdong, the karma abiding and the special insight, then all the delusions are totally uprooted. Number jumpa, you know. So that's what it's talking about here. So demarcation between what is to be practiced and what is not is what differentiates samsara and nirvana. So samsara is, we have to renounce the samsara, what this is about. And the nirvana is the best method with which to remedy mistake and faults, and is the stairway to the higher realm and liberation. This practice meditation, First, get a clear demarcation. So as I mentioned, the Nagarjuna said, the desire, attachment, aversion, and ignorance, they are the cause of suffering in general in the samsara, particularly in the three lower realms. And absence of these three poisons, they are cause for peace and happiness in the samsara, and they are the direct cause to achieve enlightenment. Nirvana is called liberation. Liberate from the bondage of the craving. So this, here, isn't this teaching of Lord Shakyamuni amazing, wonderful, and great? Just look at this now, how the wonder of the teaching, captures complete nature of the samsara. It transcends all the differences in the world. It's very inclusive. It's really amazing, This teaching taught, as I mentioned, over 2,565 years ago, in a small place in the northern India, But now this teaching can explain to entire world without any making special thing. What we have a shortage of our own wisdom. Our wisdom cannot reach to this. If one has enough wisdom, then can express freely without reservation to everyone. It's amazing, isn't it? You see, during these 2,500 years, how much belief system is changed, how much cultures have changed, lifestyle is changed, but the causality of the peace and happiness has never changed. It's so amazing, If we have a nerve, without choice, we have to follow, That's what it's saying now here. Amazing, wonderful, and great. You with the good fortune to be practitioner of the Dharma, exert yourself in the practice of these points. Now, if you acknowledge this, how wonderful, now we have enough fortune, good karma, to meet these teachings, wisdoms, now without doubt, without postponing, without wasting even a minute, we have to go forward. Every moment, every time, until the breath is stopped, You intelligent ones who practice in this way are the great beings who maintain the teaching, the truly important leaders of being, and the real follower of the line of the Shakya, means that the line of the Buddha Shakyamuni. So now, there's no leader we can look upon somewhere else. You yourself, who are studying, practicing this teaching, is you are the leader of the sentient beings. Because when you cultivated bodhicitta on the basis of loving kindness, compassion, that means you become the leader of the sentient beings. And we should rejoice that ourselves. I'm really fortunate. What a wonderful, see. Then we have two verses, just I think making very good time. For any mistakes I have made in this composition, I confess before the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and also those who are listening to it here. If you find, oh, he made this mistake, then I will ask, please correct my mistake, and then just polish and practice the Dharma. Yeah. However, know that I have not saluted in it with my own invention, but please understand that it's not just my own invention, but it's something that based on the Buddha's teaching and the great masters who followed the Buddha. And I have written in it by relying on a pure lineage of teachings. Then next, the last one, by whatever virtue this represents, may everyone of the mother migrators, meant mother sentient beings in the world, purify the true obscurations, Nyomotiba and Shechetiba, the two obscurations, the obscurations of the mental afflictions and the subtle obscurations, they are totally purified. Obscurations, the two obscurations, and complete the two accumulations, the accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom, and reach the non-abiding state, Buddha Vajradhara. So may I achieve that. So I started from yesterday here. May all be virtuous. I respectfully pay homage to all the lineage lamas or teachers who have mastery over the object of knowledge, embody compassion, are friend to all migrator, and show unmistakably what is to be adopted and what is to be abandoned. So start from there. So I'm so happy we have done this well. And I described the three virtue statement. The first one is we done last weekend at the Dikung Dhamma Dhamma Center there. Now here at the Dikung Meditation Center. I hope you got some benefit, and I hope you are closer to the enlightenment, one step. Don't go backward, okay? Go forward all the time, okay? Make progress. Don't derail from the path, okay? Follow into the path. Keep the right track. Don't be on the off track, This way. Any questions you have?
Yes, Rinpoche, this is Pauline. there is one question in the chat. I would need to turn on her microphone so she can ask the question directly to you.
Okay.
Thank you, Rinpoche.
Okay, Pauline, take care.
Thank you. So, Julie, can you please turn on your microphone and ask Rinpoche the question?
Thank you. Thank you. My question is hard. The first is about the mind. I had 2 comas. First coma, I was in Thailand. I live in Asia. And my first time in Dharamsala,
Oh.
and Karmapa had told me, because I asked, and he said, it's on your mind. Before 2 comas. First coma, I was in Thailand. In Thailand, my question one, I was sure I was poisoned. It's not truth, okay? But it's in my mind. It's in my mind. In my second, I could not speak, I could not write, I could do nothing. My brain was destroyed. My second was destroyed more, but I can speak. I can still speak. Okay. But again, I started to hallucinate it. And what is my hallucination?
Yes.
Comes and I know it's my mind. And my question is, how can I control my mind? Since I heard voices and it is the same and other life, how do I control my mind?
Yes, it is a little complex.
Complex.
Scattered, okay? Very scattered, who have no control of our own mind. So we feel we're like say, helpless, no, cannot do this, but don't give up. First, as you mentioned, you see as a hallucination. It's just a hallucination. It's not real. So first, this is a very good beginning. Start with that. Everything's in the samsara. We are all hallucinated by this magic show of the modern technologies. Okay. Okay. No, you should realize this. And say, just is my mind. Then with that mind, what you should do is as I want peace and happiness. Everybody wants peace and happiness, okay? Even though I don't have enough power, but still this is how it functions, you know? And then everybody desire to free from suffering as I do. So start with the loving kindness, compassion. Okay, and that is it is universal. It's not difficult. You know, everybody has love and compassion. Okay, because I mentioned, including you, everyone has the Buddha nature. So Buddha nature is the nature of the love and compassion. So you just need to kind of start from there, from where you are, slowly, and build the strength of your mind, okay? Then you just see all, as I mentioned, everyone is hallucinated. We're all hallucinated due to these modern technologies or whatever samsara, you know, the drama of the samsara, you know, all the samsaric dramas were all hallucinated, you know. It's not real. It's all just hallucination. It's all mirage, okay? See these things and don't make so important of these things. Yeah.
When you don't know, it is hallucination. When you
yes,
don't know.
First we don't know, but now you know, okay?
Yes.
Okay, you see, now there's no excuse, okay? No negotiation, you have to go forward.
So next question.
Yes.
Eddie, can you please turn on your microphone and ask question directly to Rinpoche?
Okay. Hi, Rinpoche.
Yes.
So in the supplementary verses, it says that faults arise also by experiences and dreams. Does that mean that we also, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear. Yes. Can you repeat?
In the supplementary verses, it says that faults arise also by experiences and dreams. Does this mean that we also accumulate negative karma in the dream, Bardo?
Yeah, it does. That's why I like say, when you go to sleep, you go to sleep with the say, may everybody, there are so many methods, but it's most easy way, may everybody have peace, may everybody free from suffering, may everyone attain enlightenment. With this mind, if you go to sleep, it relaxes your muscle, your mind. No? And then there's many others, but if you go this way, whole human being is nothing but virtue. No, it's a virtuous state of the mind. And then your dream will be virtuous dream. Whatever you in the whole sleep will become virtue. Otherwise, in the dream, you are, it's like say, you're due to when you go to sleep, some attachment or anger, when this comes in the dream, and it also accumulates non-virtue.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's all I have, Rinpoche.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, here, this Dikung Meditation Center, the spiritual director or master is here, Lama Kujosonam. He has been working very hard for many years, tirelessly. Then with the support of our some dedicated members. And now he achieves such a wonderful place he has. And he's so generous. So everybody, he's just welcome to participate. And so this is my first time to this place. Of course, I have visited Boston many times in the 80s, 90s, But after this place is found, this is my first. So I'm so inspired his achievement and how he's doing well. Everyone is welcomed and study, practice Dharma, and share. And so I want to acknowledge this and express my gratitude, his work, and helping many other people in this area than everywhere. So please support this center as much as you can. Just all I want to say this. Thank you so much. And next weekend we have Bodhisattva's vow. I don't know if you are this in a Zoom, I have no idea. Okay. La. This one. It's good.
Rinpoche La,
Yes.
this is Pauline again.
Yes. Okay.
There is one request from Monica in Spanish room. She asked, she made the request that you would continue with GONGCHIK teaching until the book is finished.
First, you must master all these 4 virtue statements. Then we'll see. It doesn't look like can finish too soon, you know. But we'll try, you know. We can try. But this last weekend, this weekend, I think we have done so well about Gongchik, general idea of the Gongchik teaching and how teachings Buddha explained, you know, not just presenting a religion, but presenting as the answer to all the conflict and cause of the suffering, an answer to all the cause for peace and happiness, dealing with our own mind. So keep that in the mind. And then you practice teaching, and that becomes the Gongchik practice. Then you become Gongchik, okay? Now shall we say some dedication prayers? Dharma? Yeah. Now here, Lama Sonam will lead. And here also I saw many of the people that I have met in the past, from Chile, and from all over the United States, and from Latvia, from many other places, you know. So I'm so appreciative about this. Thank you so much. Now, Lama Sonam will lead the dedication prayers.
Thank you, Rinpoche, so much. Also, we have the center established in the because Rinpoche you study. So we also very happy to host Rinpoche here. Now, this is also Rinpoche in your center. At any time you come, please take in your room key or left here I can holding. So anytime, which is this is we already beginning said, if we will someday physical for center and the Rinpoche will anytime to of course teaching in our side to take care as much as can Rinpoche. Thank you for long life, and also thank you. There are many translators and many people listen all over the world, and also here many our friends, new friends. So things this our center is just Rinpoche said. Everybody can use, and somebody say, "What's your center's name?" I'm just sometimes I teaching. Our center name is 7-11, 24 hours. You know, the 7 days a week. Whoever comes and we open. So likewise, you use it. And so thank you, everyone. So now dedication. Usually retreat time in the end of the session is a long dedication. Beginning time, the long refuge. So I'm going to follow that way. First, the long life, if you have, or maybe something that you can share, a prayer book in the page 78, long life, and then go back to dedication. If you don't have the share control, or maybe you're not host, then I will lead page 78. In this case, only one language. Oh, thank you. You have text also. You can read also this screen. 자기 원조 제존 정배 renjoy domen tendebo chugino wo yejoy jode page 92 prayer book. Oi shomai de bein orgie bejoy Samdai gomberare yajidu Yede zudumoy woboy jandade Kenjoy gwenjo jenze jode jo. So everybody know in the world is now there war and many sickness and so forth. So we can prayer for world peace, a prayer book, page 60. So
Koron Tegebe Sawai Kanchipo Dai Joyola Sanan Bakavete So Dai Mun Pendeva Joy Juroje. Dedication, page 70. Dorjia Zonjia Dele Naroda Marwa Meloi Chuchia Kambo Pomoy Jovoy Jovoy Degomba Gajia Lamoy Nanjia Dashia Sho Sonoman Deya Tomjia Sabanya Pomnoy Nibia Donloy Pomjia Jagana Jia Baloi Chukba Yisibia Sot Rowa Dovare Shoy Janjo Samjo Remboy Jia Maji Panoim Jijo Tiba Nyamba Meba Kone Agondo Bevara Shoy Lomai Kungama Sowara Sowa De Chodo Kwese Rewa Sowa Chile Darshin Jala Sowa Lama Don Jawa Mewa Jinjia Loi Jambia Bawa Chidoroi Chumba To Gondo Songbo Teya Deshe Teda Gwinji Ajiso Daloi Kewan Teda Tam Raudong Wai Sonjia Gwison Jivai Chalai Jini Men Juroi Dhamai Cha Kumme Jian Dumbai Chalai Chidara Wish Molon Dubarai Sho Gorndia Loim Jejia Dusum Dusak Bai Toi Yivia Gava Sawai Tia Tadai Samjia Tam Yurdola Name Bai Yanda Bai Zukbe Chanjo Rumba Yujuroi Shija Gunsa Kunjoi Shujia Tanda Nala Wanda Deko Renjam Bejia Tamba Sita Shedu Tuzan Gombe Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Okay, everyone.
Thank you.
See you soon. Take care.